Houston to pursuit. Do you read? Houston to pursuit. Do you read?
Pursuit to Houston, this is Commander Tonya Chen. Yeah, I read.
Commander, what is your current location on the station?
I'm in my sleep station.
Her blurred vision refines, and a wall of lovingly handmade cards from Earth pulls into focus. Our hero, one read. The crude drawing of a brave and relentless astronaut exploring the cosmos almost cheered her.
Commander, it's 10 a.m. local. What are you still doing in bed?
I know, I'm just under the weather.
Commander, we've got a critical mission that we need completed in the next hour. And if you don't get it done, you and your crew are going to be the weather, understood?
Buckley can handle it, Houston.
It's a walk.
Nah, Buckley's good, John. You've seen him.
Commander, it's safety critical. It's got to be you. Now get moving and huddle up.
Commander Tonya Chen, the most senior-ranking crew member on board the International Space Station Pursuit, pulled herself into the latrine area and combed through her long, brown, formless, floating hair. Though she was whirling through space at 17,000 miles per hour, her life was at a standstill. Youthful mission specialist Tony Gates floated by and bid her good morning, loudly whistling a happy tune as he made his way to the microbiology lab.
Morning, Commander.
They were making stunning breakthroughs in their research. Before she reminded him about her rule of no whistling on the space station, Tonya alerted him of the developing issue with their aging, low-orbiting home.
Let's just get to the service module for a quick brief. I guess Houston has a surprise mission for us today.
Cool.
Gates said.
Hey, Commander, watch this.
He burst through the winding, pressurized modules, enthusiastically flipping feet first through each threshold.
Very nice, Gates.
Zero gravity used to be such a novelty for Commander Chen. Now it just feels like she's chasing after everything day after day. Will Buckley, a golden-haired, top-notch pilot, appeared from an adjacent module. Following the team into Central Post, he suggested,
It's probably to fix a micrometeorite impact on the alpha magnetic spectrometer. We've been receiving really weird signals from it all week.
His dry, itchy eyes watered, and the tear droplets flecked and drifted away from his handsome face.
Ooh, nothing serious though, right?
Inexperienced Gates became concerned, his excitement depleting.
I'm sure it's fine, Gates.
Commander Chen assured him. They were crammed into the small but well-lit space of the buzzing command center. A crackling voice blares abruptly through the speakers.
Houston to pursuit. Are we ready?
John from ground control asks. His rushed voice sets an uneasy tone for the impromptu mission.
Ready, Houston?
The commander says, peeking around at her skeleton crew. She's been trapped in space for 436 days under a seemingly endless contract with the government. She was exhausted and desirous for home. All she could think about was feeling the weight of the real world tugging on her shoulders again. Suffering was better than the void she'd been spiraling through over the last year. Crew members have come and gone. Countless missions have succeeded and failed spectacularly. And now, she feels the ISS Pursuit has been quietly but purposely transformed into her glitchy, barren tomb.
All right, crew. Just a few hours ago, we received reports of a coronal mass ejection heading our way. It's fast-moving and it's intense. We're thinking comms are going to be down when it hits. And earlier this morning, Canada sent down a new maintenance check. We've got a small nick outside, probably a micrometeor.
See, I told you
We
guys.
need you to go on unplanned EVA and undock one of the radiators until we can send up a replacement unit. It's been releasing some kind of unconfirmed substance into the water and oxygen systems. Likely a standard NH3 with MMOD.
We got a leak?
Buckley asked, disquieted.
Yeah, and it's pretty bad, guys. Surprised you haven't noticed it yet. Hold off on drinking or eating until we figure this
Oh,
out.
geez, come on.
Wait.
The crew
what?
exchanged glances. It could explain their mild discomfort all day. Buckley approaches the intercom.
Houston, this is Buckley. I'd like to go.
Buckley, we're going to get you on a walk soon, but we need your commander on this.
Of course.
In the meantime, we need you and Gates to decouple the power from the node from the inside while she's out there.
Whoa, she's going solo.
Gates says impressed but skeptical.
We need you to get this done in the next 90 minutes. Can you do this, Commander?
John breathes heavily into the headset. Commander Chen closes her eyes and rakes her fingers tensely through her long, suspended hair. John sputters through the speakers.
Commander?
Yeah, I got it, Houston.
Affirmative. I'm transmitting the procedure sheets just in case we lose contact and you go blind up there. You need to do this quickly and get into the safety module before the storm hits. Is that clear, Pursuit?
Yes, sir.
The crew resounds.
Okay, I'll check in at 1200. Good luck, guys.
Commander Chen directs her crew to the airlock donning station to get into her spacesuit. Her team expeditiously checks for cracks, rips, tears, and punctures before fastening her in. They kicked on her vital monitors from their handheld devices and noticed the elevation in her heart rate and body temperature.
Commander, are you good?
Buckley approaches his leader with quiet concern imprinted on his face. She breathes in oxygen deeply as she prepares for the walk. Hopefully, for everyone's sake, the air is clear of contaminants.
I'm fine.
She smiles weakly.
I'm just tired. It must be the leak. I'll feel better out there, I'm sure. Let's get this done so I can sleep this off.
Buckley huffs, but smiles brightly.
All right, Commander Chen's EMU check is complete. She's ready to disembark.
Alrighty.
Let's roll, boss.
Nice.
Specialist Gates excitedly leaves the airlock to locate the faulty radiator. Buckley, on the other hand, hangs back as he struggles to contain his anxieties. His commander impatiently warbles in the corner, anticipating the opening of the sealed airlock.
Tonya, I don't know what's going on with you, but I really hope you're up for this. If you're not, just come back in and I'll finish.
I've done this a million times. It's no big deal. Can we please just hurry up?
It's safety critical, Commander. Just don't let us down out there, okay?
The words penetrated her spacesuit and cut into her chest. She buckles under the unfathomable pressure of this moment. She nudges her tired body against the wall, avoiding his peering eyes. Buckley regrets the inflection, but meant what he said. He finally leaves the airlock so she can begin depressurization. Her breath slows and deepens while she mentally focuses on the task at hand. The onboard virtual assistant alerts the crew that the airlock will be opening soon.
Depressurization complete. Artemis airlock. Opening now.
The heavy mechanical portal opens and the aperture doors unfurl. Looking out into the cosmic sea, Commander Chen can see the moon, which is picturesque in its placement just beyond her home planet of Earth. But there was no time to marvel through miles of deep space. She had work to do. Tools in hand and securely tethered to the outside of the space station,
Let's just get this over with.
she steps off and away from the ledge of her safe harbor.
Pursuit to Commander Chen. Do you read okay?
Gates's voice pierces the silence in her helmet.
Yeah, I read.
Chen says, slightly disassociated.
Where am I going, kiddo?
Specialist Gates expertly guides his sleepy commander along the trusses and nodes of the massive solar-powered vessel. She appreciates the reprieve from her crew's constant noise and embraces the silky silence of the universe. Her eyes scan the curve of the planet beneath her, eyeing the third sunrise of the day off in the distance. She skirts the solar array panels, just as she has for months on routine walks. As far as she was concerned, this was just another quick fix. Her tool bag and metal tether carabiner bang against the space station as she hugs its outer walls, but the lack of air rendered the clattering sound silent.
Okay, Commander. You should be right on it now. It's right there at B162F.
Commander Chen takes her time locating the panel. As soon as she sees it, she discovers the problem. There's a quarter-inch puncture right through the metal casing. Whatever made the hole must have come from the outside and with great force.
See it?
He coughs a bit, reminding Tonya of the severity of the time-sensitive mission.
Yeah, I see it.
She responds impatiently.
Okay, just unscrew it at the corners, lift the panel, and then twist the lock in the center and dislodge it from the base. Then just reassemble the casing. Should take you about 7 minutes.
Copy, kiddo.
She responds, proud of her youngest crew member, but eager to get it done.
Also,
Buckley interjects.
ground just came back with an update on that storm inbound. It's speeding faster than we realized. It'll be here any minute. So,
I copy.
Tonya shouts.
Just let me focus. I'll be back in soon.
She was finally left to work in blissful silence and begins unscrewing each tightly fastened bolt from the apparatus. The top corner was easy, but the bottom corner was slightly harder to remove. Her tired hands started to lose their grip on the power tools. While unscrewing the last bolt, the tool bit slipped and skidded across the panel, scraping into the metal. She shakes her head inside her helmet, trying to increase her alertness. Over the comms, a weary voice whimpers.
Tonya, you need to hurry.
Buckley whispers.
I am, Will.
She growls,
Tonya, listen to me. You need to stop the leak. Now.
the tone of his voice unnerved her.
Will? What's wrong? What's going on in there?
Commander Chen demands, growing concerned. Her attention shifts now to her crew.
Gates is, down. He's been coughing and his eyes are, well, I don't know what's seeping in here, but it's not good, Commander. He's acting crazy. I had to restrain him.
Restrain him? Why?
She stops her EVA to address the new emerging issue.
He's getting very violent. He's delirious or something, and he's trying to bite me.
Repeat, Buckley?
The kid was trying to bite me. Commander, can you just finish up and get back in here? We're done on our end. I don't want to lose comms, and that storm has to be right on top of you.
The storm. Tonya had nearly forgotten. She reorients herself to look behind her. Above the Earth, she can see a beautiful streak of purples and greens swirling through the magnetic field. Though breathtaking, it was a dark harbinger of catastrophic complications for the space station, and it was traveling at an impossible speed. She needed to finish up and get back to the airlock before she lost all communication with the ground and crew.
Okay, I'm hurrying. I'll be in there as soon as I can. Just keep Gates isolated for now until we know what we're dealing with. Buckley, have you updated ground control yet?
Tonya scrambled to dislodge the radiator as instructed, while her question was met with broken words through static.
I'm going to eat you, Tonya. We body. Get back. I'm going to eat Earth.
And then came an eerie silence.
Buckley, ground. Does anyone copy?
She was in the blind. The solar storm must have completely degraded the signal. Her crew was marooned and contending with some kind of mysterious substance, hundreds of miles away from rescue. It was the wake-up call she's been dreaming of for weeks. She just wished it wasn't such a dire alarm. Adrenaline shot through her system. Her watering eyes cleared and her mind snapped into a sharp focus. She was finally awake. Tightening her grip on her tools, she finished unscrewing the panel and tore the panel away. Bolts momentarily became space debris as they dispersed. She grabbed the large wing nut in the center of the compartment and with all of her strength, twisted and freed it from the node, hopefully stopping the leak inside. She collected all the drifting bolts and screwed the panel back in with a deft speed. After untethering her suit, she pulls herself back towards the airlock, the way she came, continuing to check in over comms.
Hello? Does anyone copy at all? Pursuit to ground control, we are in the blind. Repeat, we are in the blind. Safety critical mission complete. Requesting an update from the station, please.
There was nothing but continuous, uninhabited white noise. Commander Chen finally made it back to the Artemis airlock. Her heart sank. It was wide open. What was going on in there? She entered the pod and closed the airlock, beginning the pressurization process. She would need help getting out of her suit. Where was everyone? Lifting the visor and helmet shade, she pressed her clunky gloved finger onto the intercom button on the wall.
ISS pursuit personnel, this is your commander, Tonya Chen. All hands report in right now.
Her teeth began to chatter as she was sweating in the now crisp, cold air of the space station.
Pursuit!
She begged quietly into the intercom. It took her a few minutes to get out of her suit, but she finally shed her heavy space garments. She sailed out of the airlock and into the station. It was deathly silent. Her lungs heaved as she tried to regulate her breathing. She was terrified for her crew and unsure of what to do. Everything had become so routine over the last year that acting on her own accord had now become a challenge. Commander Chen began the hunt for Buckley and Gates. Perhaps they were seeking refuge in the safety area from the storm's penetrating high-energy protons. She raced to the capsule faster than her racing heart and banged on the outer wall.
Hey, are you guys in there?
She received no response. They couldn't have just disappeared. They had to still be aboard the spacecraft somewhere. She searched the entire complex. She was horror-struck. How was she suddenly utterly alone? The solitude she once coveted now petrified her. But then she saw something. A blue flash in a mirror in the corner. It had to be one of the crew. She whipped around, hoping to find someone there. Anyone.
Hello? Guys? What's going on in here?
No one responded. She pulled herself through module after module, becoming more and more desperate as they continued to come up empty.
How's Gates? Come on, I need updates, guys.
Then, like a bolt from the blue,
Oh, wait. The cameras.
the thermal cameras. All she had to do was log into the terminal and locate her crew on the space station. She soared into Central Post and jabbed her fingertips onto the keyboard of one of the outdated laptops affixed to the wall. Her heart fluttered.
Oh my god.
The cameras were still online. She scanned them all, searching for red blotches that would indicate a weightless human was floating around.
Come on. Where are you, Buckley?
She cycled through camera after camera, almost all the way back around, but then she stopped on an adjacent module to the one she was in. There.
Found you.
2 warm bodies were just out of sight behind her. They were swarming her module, peeking around the corners. Why were they hiding? She was unsettled when she realized that the whole time she was searching for them, they had been the ones stalking her. Commander Chen pleads, trying not to spook them.
What's going on, guys? Can we stop with the games now? We just need to run through the next steps.
She attempts to sneak a transmission to planet Earth.
Pursuit to ground control. Do you copy?
There's no response. She was panicked by the thought they may be contaminated with some kind of alien pathogen. For the sake of Pursuit's ongoing mission, she had to keep herself safe and isolated from the others. Her eyes locked onto one of the warm bodies on the monitor. She couldn't tell who it was. Before she could even guess, a milky voice in an otherwise silent compartment wet the air.
Commander, you've been compromised. You're being relieved. We'll take it from here. Return to your sleeping pod and get that rest you've been looking forward to all morning.
Commander Chen was crushed by the realization that, in fact, the entire station had been compromised. No one was in charge anymore. The erupting sun and this mysterious contagion on board had silently destroyed the crew, one by one. Tonya gulps and resists the urge to turn around. She's taken the hint that they don't want to be seen. Looking back up at the monitor, she addressed the entity.
They'll blow us out of the sky when they find out, Will.
Oh, I sure hope so, Tonya.
What?
That would make our job a whole lot easier.
The leak is fixed. Excellent job, Commander.
Gates commends, his proud, jovial voice spilling into the room now.
You've earned a well-deserved nap. We'll help you to the sleep station.
She was returned to the Pursuit sleeping quarters, tugged gently along by each of her arms, gripped in the hands of her beloved crew. Tonya snuck quick peeks at them from the corners of her eyes, but immediately wished she hadn't. Their once glowing, healthy skin was now ashed and gray. The capillaries in their faces were exploding right before her eyes and spreading across their gently smiling cheeks. The veins in their serene, glassy eyes were ruptured, and their pupils were almost fully dilated. From the corners of their mouths frothed a creamy white collection of mucus, marbled by crimson fluid from their bleeding gums. Their breathing was steady but rattling. They were dying. Tonya hoped they knew how much she truly cared for them, and how she always admired their unwavering commitment to their duties. They were the real heroes. Even now, as they slowly succumbed to a microscopic, diabolical force of nature, they all knew this might happen. Their experiments proved it. The 2 men eased her into her sleeping pod and made sure she was comfortable.
Watch your head, Commander.
This wasn't a pathogen, Tonya concluded. This was a parasite, and regardless of if it's taken by force, planet Earth will soon become its host. She wondered what was to become of her in the coming days, if she would even last that long. Her listless body quakes as crates of cargo are pushed over and strapped down on top of the opening to her sleeping pod. It was the tomb she had feared for so long. Commander Tonya Chen would give anything to start the day over. She flipped on the wall light and ruminated over the colorful cards that lined her final resting place. They still smelled like crayons and the candy that accompanied them. The honesty of the moment caught up to her, and she felt her understanding of reality and the ghosts of her consciousness fuse together.
All right, I'm going to transmit to Houston and let them know the plan. It'll have to work.
Preparing emergency systems. Re-entry sequence initiated. Pod 603 is now ready for boarding.
Oh no.
All right, boss. It's time to get suited up. Nice. You and me are going hunting. All right.
But she eventually drifted off to a vacuous sleep. A faint whistling from beyond the barriers of her life echoed into her final, nightmarish dream.